viewers. I am Aziza of 3rd semester from Deccan School of Planning and Architecture, Hyderabad. I warmly welcome you all back for the next panel discussion. For a profession with such a long history, architecture has evolved very slowly in one critical way. Although women and men now enroll in architecture school in roughly equal numbers, it is still a vastly male dominated profession, with women representing only about 1 in 5 licensed practitioners. In the light of this, our speakers will shed a light on professional advancements for a woman and what can be done to keep a woman in the field. Before we go ahead with the session, let's go through an important disclaimer. This event is a proprietary to A Sketch EduTech Foundation. Everything shared here is confidential and proprietary. Sharing through any form of media, copying, reproduction, distribution, and or recording, as well as screen captures, part or the entire presentation without written consent is prohibited. Contents and discussions are also considered confidential. Please ask questions in the link and we will answer all the questions at the end of the session. So now, in this panel discussion named Women in Architecture, Opportunities and Challenges, we have on-board architect Sumit Kaur ji. Sumit Kaur ji is an architect and urban designer. She has been the former chief architect in Chandigarh Administration, where she served as the head of not just the architecture wing, but also the town planning wings. She has also led the preparation of the Chandigarh Master Plan 2031 and has been nominated dossier of the Capitol Complex, Chandigarh, for the UNESCO World Heritage status. She has worked on several prestigious residential, commercial, institutional, landscape, commemorative projects for the state of Punjab, Chandigarh, and Delhi. We also have Professor Kamini Singh. She is not just a practicing architect but is also the principal of Sree Venkateshwara College of Planning and Architecture, Hyderabad. Her experience in teaching spans a period of 22 years. Throughout her teaching journey, she has actively involved herself in academics, examinations, and thesis coordination. And being an academician, she has a zeal to guide young, bright architects. She is also the co-founder of an architectural firm, Akara, AKRA IPMS. This firm has several awards and recognitions in its name, and and the latest recognition award to her firm was 10 Most Promising Project Management Consultant 2020 by Consultant Review magazine. Next panelist is architect Pallavi Anchuri. She is the principal architect and designer of Anchuri Design World, Hyderabad. Along with being a practicing designer, architect Pallavi is also a visiting jury member in several design schools in Hyderabad. Her several years of teaching span has kept her in touch with new and upcoming design minds. Apart from professional practices, she has also been an active member of Indian Institute of Interior Design currently. Honorable Secretary since 2019 and 2020. The panel discussion is architect Aarti Nagpal. She has been working as an assistant professor with a demonstrated history of working in the architecture and planning industry. Her basket of knowledge consists of skills in softwares like Arc, GIS, AutoCAD, Photoshop, Google SketchUp, Google Earth, Revit, and Microsoft Office. She is also a strong administrative professional with a Masters of Urban Planning degree. She is currently working as an assistant professor of architecture in the School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. Now, before I take the leave, I would like to moderator architect Mahesh Bangad to continue from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aziza. It's always a pleasure to have students take over charge of things and events, and they do it wonderfully well. And I must appreciate a sketch initiative to involve students from various colleges various years, a third semester student, a fifth semester student. Introducing the panelist is a great opportunity, and I think it's a good platform as well. I'm really glad that I'm doing this panel discussion here. Is one reason is because I teach at an all-girls college in Pune at BNCA. So I've been teaching for the last 10 years, 160 students a batch. And it's interesting because that kind of outlook of not just me as a male professor, but the overall outlook of the people around who come in contact with these students has changed or evolved over times. And I'm sure Kamini ma'am will give us insights on that also later. The second thing is when Ibrahim was approaching me for to be the moderator for the other two panel discussions, he quickly asked me, do you think we should have a female panel discussion moderator or a male moderator? I said, I would love to take up the job, because if I am not here, I will never know what is going on in the minds of these interesting ladies who have come from such varied backgrounds, and that diversification is going to go across into the male side of the community as well. So I can carry these thoughts to my male colleagues and tell them that, see, the women are doing so wonderfully well. So that was the reason why I pushed, and I told him, okay, I want to be the moderator, and I'm crossing the line a little on this. He said, no, sir, that's perfectly fine. So having taken all of this as a chance for myself as well, I want to know the stories behind all four of you, your lives, and how have you evolved to what you are today. All of you are doing wonderfully well in your respective field of interest, and heading schools or being the head of department or heading architectural organizations like IIID, or being in the government, being chief architects at the government offices. All of these are very interesting positions, and generally in a male-dominated profession, women making their mark is very, very soothing to know, and really looking forward to hearing from you ladies. And I'm going to request Sumit ma'am to start and tell us just some highlights and milestones of your journey so far, so that we all get to know what really it has been, ups and downs, or whether it has been a smooth ride. Please. We are unable to hear you. The audio needs to be.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely loud and clear.
Can you all be a little louder? Because on this end, there is some problem. I think...
We will try and be louder, ma'am. We will try and be louder. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think, thank you, Mahesh. Thank you, Ibrahim, and the whole team. It's really exciting to be here with you all. And on this particular topic, when you're talking about women in architecture, Mahesh has set the tone. And I wish, not only you could have included another male panelist, to see their viewpoint and to give us their feedback on what they think about women in architects. Now I will just tell you that I've been extremely lucky, and I have no regrets. My parents wanted me to become a doctor, but my cousin was an architect, and I would help her, a bit with her work. And I saw music flowing, so that tempted me. And as luck would have it, it rained that very day. The interview for the medicine and for architecture was on the same day. I got delayed for I stuck there in the architecture college, and I moved to the, medical side, later for the interview. By that time, I was put on the waiting list. So I got my day, and that's how my journey began. So I did my graduation B.Art from CCA, and, I got interested in urban design by a professor. While he was teaching us urban design, he was move us through different, I think, he would move us virtually through different streets of different cities. So I did my master. It was a new topic then, urban design. And I picked it on, went to SPA, really enjoyed it. Then just across SPA, there's DDA. So they had advertised a post, and I picked it up. My masters helped me definitely get into that, as an officer straight away. But as circumstances would have it, I, had to leave that job, and I came to Chandigarh with my parents and everybody was. So I picked up a new job through Public Service Commission, and I was there, working on various projects, right from schools, hospitals, educational, institutional, landscaping, every kind, because it was all across the state. And the highlight of that was that I worked on 2 townships, which are for the Thin Dam project, which are the Shahpur Kandi and the Ucha Thada projects. They're designing buildings, visiting sites. It was difficult in those times because we didn't have any, proper transport, proper connectivity. But despite that, we did it and really, really enjoyed. And another instance which I remember of my Punjab days is that we were doing this commemorative project in front of, it's a long story, but just to cut it short, Khatkar Kalam, where Bhagat Singh's, Shaheed Bhagat Singh's houses, they just wanted to develop a children's park. But the moment I saw the site, and I thought this was an opportunity to develop it into a commemorative project. And fortunately, we had, Abdul Kalam ji coming over and looking and, giving laying the foundation stone. When he looked at the site, which was a depression, his first question, his scientific mind, we know, is always there. So his question after I finished the presentation was, have you taken care of rainwater harvesting? And yes, we had, it was a new topic then. Now today, everybody is talking about rainwater harvesting, but we did it. Another instance was where I think this male and the female, which we are talking about today, I did feel a little bit was when Badal Saab, who was very keen on Sudharghars and modern jails, wanted to have a series of jails across the state. So I had just taken over as chief architect and was introduced to him. When he looked at me, I could make out from his eyes and expression that probably he was a little skeptical whether I could take it on. That very moment I took it on as a challenge. I knew the demands because there was no case study one could do from books and all. Actual visiting sites. So we went to Chennai, we went to Punjab jails, Patiala, Nabha, Delhi, even Tihar jail. And we spoke to inmates, went into those deep cells, So what I'm trying to tell you, we had the will, where you have the will, you have the way. Whether you're a male or a female, you can do it. So that project, when it was finally shown to Badal Saab in the presence of Kiran Bedi, you know what he said in Punjabi? He says, "Tusi enna sona banata hai, koi hun andar aayega te bahar nahi jayega." Meaning thereby that those who get imprisoned, for those who don't understand Punjabi, those who get into the prison wouldn't like to leave it because of the environment. That was a big, big compliment, Then, after that, in my Chandigarh tenure, I was really lucky to do all that I ever wanted to do for a city where I had lived and had brought me up. So I got the opportunity of working on the Chandigarh Master Plan 2031. And sometimes I would love to share with you all students about how we went about the whole thing. Additionally, we also did heritage listing. It's a modern city. Buildings are not very old, but we knew the pressure was so much that unless we save the gems, we are definitely going to cause devastation. So I think all these providence helped that these things simultaneously happened during my tenure, and I was able to take the lead on that. In addition, for 10 years, Chandigarh had been trying to work on the nomination for UNESCO. Because we were working on the draft master plan, because we had done the heritage listing, we were able to see it through. And this is a transnational border with 6 countries, Argentina, Brazil, with France taking the lead. And today, Chandigarh is there, on the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this has been really, really enriching. And thereafter my retirement, I wanted to carry on. So I joined as principal. For about 4 years, I was in the Indo-Global College teaching students, and because of circumstance, I just felt that I had done enough. Now I'm on to do some writing and things, so I've left that, and now I'm there as a visiting teacher in Chandigarh College of Architecture and Chitkara. So it's been really interesting, and there is no end to learning, and one is going on with the profession. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. The kind of spectrum of work that you have done and the places where you are coming from, I think it's quite inspirational for our viewers. There's more than 200 people watching this. I'm sure they understand that there is so much to do. And another such person we have with us today is Kamini ma'am. She's going to tell you about her experience of being in the academics for more than 22 years and also running her own practice. I am myself a qualified project manager, and I know how difficult it is to be a project management consultant or to run office of project management, and then to be listed in the top 10 in the country makes a huge difference. So over to you, Kamini ma'am. You need to unmute, ma'am. You just need to unmute, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mahesh. My journey into architecture started with a passion, that I had developed during school days. One of my friends' uncle, we used to go to his office. He's an architect, and we used to see all the drawings and his work being projected, and he used to talk about architecture. So both of us, had that inclination that we should join architecture. It's a different profession, and both of us took up the test. Apparently, I got admission and she didn't get admission. It was her passion, but whatsoever. I will give you a quick chronological order of my, sequence of how I started.
Please do. We want to know that.
In 1996, I graduated, and in 97, I joined the master's program with specialization in housing. I have done master's in planning from School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. New Delhi, coming from JNTU background and then going to a New Delhi background, it helped me a lot. There was already a different kind of exposure over there. The SPA Delhi environment makes you a very tough professional, and which has helped me change my thought process quite a lot. Then I got married to an architect. My husband is also an architect, and apparently he's the one who specialized in construction management. So that's how our firm is also specialized in that. He's architect Kuldeep Singh, and we wanted to take it a little slow. We were not in a haste to set up the practice, immediately. So I joined academics. I joined Sree Venkateshwara College of Architecture. That is in 1998. And initially, my inclination towards academics was because of the encouragement and given by my own professors. I had a very good academic background. I was distinction in thesis during my post-graduation in Delhi. So somehow my professors thought that I could make it good in academics, and they pushed me, and I started my first, I joined SVCA in 96. Then in 2001, while I was still working in SVCA, I got a call from one of my professors to take up classes for Masters in Urban and Regional Planning at JNTU. And taking up a master's program, I was a little skeptical, but then he had the confidence in me. He said, no, you can take it up. And when I went over there, I had students who were, some of them were even double my age. I was very young at that time. But the respect and the love that I got from the students at that time, it is immense, in teaching. When you get all this, it helps you a lot. Apparently, they could relate to my teaching. They could, the clarity in thoughts and all was something which they could connect to. And all those, helped me. It motivated me to go ahead. And even today, I meet some of them, and they're all working, and some of them are working in the government sector. Some of them have their own practices. And when they come and tell me, ma'am, the projects that we are doing today is, we have learned a lot in the housing classes that you have taken up for us. I think that is a big reward that you get, for your academic pursuits that you have made. Then in 2003, I was invited by the Dean of National Institute of Construction Management, that is NICMAR, Hyderabad. And he invited me to take up classes for, there was a elective subject called Facilities Planning at township level, for which they wanted a planner. architect with a planner background. There, at that time, in 2003, in a class of 40 students, you had only 3 girls. The number of female faculty was also very, very less. In the entire campus, I could see only hardly 1 or 2 female faculty. And I was invited over there as a visiting faculty. I took up the challenge, I took up classes, my planning background. And at that time, my husband was working, he was heading the Jones Lang LaSalle JLL team in Hyderabad. He was heading that. So my theoretical knowledge with practical knowledge combined, I could deliver very good lectures. And apparently those students were so happy with my talks and with my classes that they requested the dean that we want her again even for the next semester. And I was forced to again take up classes even in the next semester. So and then later on, after that, in 2009, my husband and me, we founded the ARCA Integrated Project Management Solutions, which is a firm. We do architectural design and architecture project management consultancy. So this also, we were very selective about the clients that we would go for. If it did not suit our terms and conditions, we would say, no, we were not in a haste to grab projects, or, we took it a little slow. But then the good work that we did, our clients spoke good about us. And I'm very happy to say that we got featured amongst by various rating agencies, and we got featured by Silicon India, by Business Connect magazine, and latest in 2019 by Consultants Review magazine as the topmost amongst top 10. We were one of the most innovative PMC company. If you see PMC few years back, it was all engineer dominated. So an architect to make a mark in engineer dominated profession itself is remarkable. It was, not a very easy thing, but then we did. And I should tell you, as architecture, it makes you it gives you an all-round development where you can perceive things better. And if you have that technological inputs as well added to your creativity, you can do wonders. And we have done projects for some of the Fortune 500 companies, the Tata Capital at multiple locations, the Tata Communications we have done. We have done for pharma companies. ICICI Mumbai is also our project. And you can look at our website where a list of all our projects is also there at arcaipms.com. And we have got, and in 2019, my association with SVCA has been last 22 years. A lot of hard work has gone. My initial stages were more into, learning, teaching. I'm still learning, but then it was more of delivering lectures, getting involved with students, one-on-one basis. Later on, as I took charge as the head of the department, and later on I became the principal, then my focus shifted more towards the management issues, where administration became my priority more. Academics took a little backseat. And I'm happy to say that in 2019, we got recognized and we were given the Times Excellence Awards. Sree Venkateshwara College of Architecture got
Amazing.
the Times Excellence Award in 2019. So that was also one of the good achievements. And in our company, when we're talking about this gender discrimination, I can say in our very firm, we have women architects, we have women engineers also. I do not see any kind of a gender discrimination over here. Everything is result oriented. You are representing the company, whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. Your work output matters. The work is discussed on the site. The responsibilities are shared. So it is all the team which comes together and which works towards the common goal. So the teamwork over here is very important. And also in, I'm also associated with this National Institute of Fashion Technology, Hyderabad, NIFT. I go there and interact with students. I find this as a good stress buster because, Fashion Institute technology students, they have their own creative instinct. And I find this very, it is very good for me to interacting all this. And end of the day, I would like to say that it is very important for a woman to balance all this. You are in the profession, you're into academics, and you have a family also. I have two kids. My daughter is an IT professional. My son is more interested towards architecture. My daughter is my best friend, I should say. And If your family, your husband is there to help you, there's nothing like it. Go ahead.
That's great. That's lovely, ma'am. I think you answered one of my further question already. Is about striking this balance. Sumit ma'am also comes from a family of all architects, and she also had this. While we were discussing this the other day, she said that it's very important to have a work-life balance, and this is one point that all the women architects I know, or the women colleagues that I have, who are female colleagues who are teachers, are always talking about, and but they're excellently doing it. And I'm really happy to see the spectrum of the exposure that you have had and where you have contributed. So thank you for telling us about your journey. And I know Pallavi ma'am has an equally interesting spectrum of her journey as well. So I would like the audience to listen to Pallavi ma'am's story as well, because one very interesting thing about her has been that a lot of students, once they are done with BArch and when they leave that, they're done with the degree, they don't really go back to doing their masters. But with a huge gap between her bachelor's and then her master's, Pallavi ma'am decided to go back to doing masters, which is quite creditable. So I'm going to request Pallavi ma'am to just briefly tell us about her own journey as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mahesh. Congratulations, team A Sketch, and thank you for inviting me and for such a wonderful platform. About my journey, I come from a family of artists and architects, where my grandfather was a gold medalist from JJ School of Arts, and father is an architect. And so from childhood, I have been seeing father's work and the field of design. So it made me to follow this passion. And thereafter, I completed my BArch in 1996. After that, by God's grace, I got married into a family of architects and interior designers. So along with my husband, Ravi Anchuri, we started professional practice under heading our firm Anchuri Design World. So we are into residential, then commercial, convention centers, pharma industry, and designing of mythological park. See, so we never restricted ourselves depending upon the scale of project. If you love design, you should not restrict yourself. And after 22 years of professional life, I joined and somewhere it was in my mind to join again back to studies and complete my master's in interior design. So it was a very challenging task for me to balance with the studies, profession, family, and I'm an active member of IIID too.
I can very well imagine how difficult it must have been.
Yes, yes. But I decided within 2 years I joined in 2017 and completed.
Ma'am, we lost your voice actually. Just a second. No. Is there another device that is signed in?
No.
Now it's okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I completed master's in 2019, and now I'm back to routine with the professional life. And currently, I'm honorary secretary of IID Hyderabad chapter. So doing MR was one of my milestone in my life. And regarding the the signature project, we have designed the Ramanarayan Pranganam, which is something different and unique project. So that is one of milestone in our life. So
thank you so much, Pallavi ma'am, for that insight. I have known Pallavi ma'am through Triple ID, and her whole family has been quite active with Triple ID and its activities, and it requires a lot of gut to be in a office bearer position. I'm sure Sumit ma'am and Kamini ma'am will agree, because when you head a school, or when you head an organization, or when you are in office bearer capacity somewhere, the whole idea or the notion of being a female has to be kept aside, because there the work getting done or getting the job done as required becomes the focus of your existence. And for that, you will have to always cross your lines and be a little bold and be a little more commanding over the others as well, which needs a lot of guts. And I salute to all of you who have been in different positions and are doing this religiously for so many years. So thank you, Pallavi ma'am, for your story. And now moving to Aarti ma'am, our fourth panelist for the day today. There are audience questions already saying that it's so interesting to know stories of the panelists. Wish this could go on as a storytelling session itself, more than a panel discussion. And that is the charm of it. The reason why we did the first question to be an open question for all of you to tell about your stories is to inspire the audience out there, for them to understand that they can't get frustrated just by the 5 years of architecture and then they just say, okay, now I'm done, I have gone through enough. It is a process, and 20, 22 years, 30 years down the line, it is all bearing fruits. It is all giving you all that you have always wished for. So this is the reason why we are doing this storytelling, and it is really, really inspiring. I myself am I'm getting goosebumps thinking about everything that you guys must have gone through in different positions and this experience itself. And of course, jealous I am, because not everybody gets these opportunities and not everybody makes the best use of these opportunities. So over to Aarti ma'am for her story, please. Yeah, you need to unmute, sorry. Just a second. Yeah, if you could unmute, yeah.
Hi everyone, I am Aarti Nagpal. I'm assistant professor in Department of Architecture at SPA New Delhi. Architecture fascinates me. It provides a sense of place and support of all types of human activity. And being an assistant professor in School of Planning and Architecture, it's, you know, everybody's dream. The responsibility of joining this institution is everyone's dream, and I'm happy to be a part of its family, and I'm really thankful for SP Authority to give me the permission. I'm currently on CCL childcare leave and residing in Dubai with my husband to take care of my baby in this corona time, in this new normal situation. But still, I've got this opportunity, and thank you, Mahesh sir, also for giving me this chance to speak up about women in architecture. I have 10 years of working experience. Within 10 years of working experience, I have 1 year of professional experience and 9 years of teaching experience. So I am academician. You can say I have 1 year of experience, but within that I know like how to work in office, and I know the challenges faced by the women in corporate environment. So you can say I have diverse experience from small office to a big corporate office, and then from private state college to state government college, and then I'm working in School of Planning and Architecture, which is central government college. So I can share my experience. I have one PPT also, but I think I will try to share it with you as per the time, because it's a long PPT, but I can share my experience without PPT.
You could skim through, or if you don't wish to show the slides, you could speak about it and just run through the slideshow maybe.
Okay, so I'll just share it, try to share it now.
Yes, sure. Of course, we have direct questions to each one of you after this. So where the audience have already started pouring in their questions. Specificity is high for the questions. So
participant screen sharing.
Yeah, I will request Brian to quickly allow the screen share.
Okay.
Now you can.
Okay, fine.
Perfect.
Fine. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, it's up there.
Okay, fine. Actually, I'm pursuing PhD from SPA currently from Physical Planning Department. Dr. Poonam Prakash and Shweta ma'am is my guide, and I've done M planning from MNIT Jaipur. I've done B architecture from Murthal in 2008, and I've done MBA in interiors, and I've also done PGPCM from NICMAR Pune. PGP stands for this postgraduate program in construction management. I've also done this. So I have diversified experience, and I've done masters also of different backgrounds. So I think it is helping in my career and teaching architecture subject, because it is a diversified field, and you can contribute more if you know all the subjects, because architecture is comprising of lot of subjects. It's not about designing building only. It's about interiors, it's about landscape, it's about planning, also planning of the settlement. So I have taught so many subjects while working in the various institutions. So I would like to start with my journey from when I earned the architecture degree in 2008 from the Crest Murthal. This course of study gave me a thorough foundation of knowledge in architecture and design. And I participated in various seminars also. I've written almost 15 research papers related to architecture and planning. And I attended several supplementary courses also to attain the certification in various software applications. I began my journey as an architect for office interiors in SWPI Architects, which is a residential based, not a small office, but it's very nice office in Gurgaon, Sushant Lok. And that time I got the opportunity to work on the interiors projects, office interiors. And Sanjay Vadva ma'am and Vinay Nani ma'am, they are very nice, and they had given me a chance to work with them. So that was my starting of the starting journey. And then I thought, like, my father, he wanted me to be in the government field, so I thought, no, I must do the masters. But meanwhile I had started the construction management from Nikmar, Pune. But he told me, no, you have to work in the government sector, otherwise you stop stop working. So that time I thought, no, I have to do masters. And the time I got little late to apply for the masters in various universities. So I had got a call from Jamia and MNIT Jaipur. So I had for selection in both, but I dropped the idea to pursue masters in Jamia, and I did masters in urban planning from MNIT Jaipur. So that I did it in 2011. And because I thought architecture and urban planning is the best combination to understand different aspects of human habitat and environment. After completing my M-Plan, I also did a fast track course on interior design management from NRM Ahmedabad. That was the recession time, so I was just gaining you can say knowledge, and I thought I can utilize it further. My areas of interest are sustainable architecture and urban planning, building services, building construction, landscape architecture, interior design, land use planning, GIS, land management, and construction management, community participation, etc. So when you'll see my teaching experience of 9 years in architecture department, I worked for 1 year as an assistant professor in in Satpriya School of Architecture and Design. There I worked as an assistant professor as well as NATA coordinator and HOD. And
ma'am, sorry, ma'am. I'm going to intervene here, but because we have questions coming in very quick, you may have to just quickly run through all of this, as we have the students want more from you in terms of their questions being answered. So I'm going to request
the detailed presentation, sir. I'm just telling about.
No problem. Yes.
I worked in Satpriya. That was the starting of my career as an assistant professor. Then I worked in State Institute of Urban Planning and Architecture, Rohtak. Rohtak is my hometown. And then I worked as an assistant professor in the Crest Murthal also part time. And currently I'm working in School of Planning and Architecture since July 2013. And I also worked as a visiting internal faculty in urban planning, Masters of Urban Planning in School of Planning and Architecture. So I got chance to teach various subjects. And I also did many trainings and workshops to upgrade myself. And office work also, I did designing and working drawing related to residences, office interiors, hospitals, farmhouse and factories while training and while working. After the B architecture degree, I changed my office from office interiors to landscape. And then I also tried to work for interior firm based on the Gurgaon. Then I got chance to learn like how architecture can help me. And then suddenly I changed my interest from architecture to urban planning. And I got chance to work on master plans for 4 towns in Rajasthan, India. Dodhabim, Takatgarh, Pinwara, and Losal plans. So you can see these are the research paper published by me and which are related to architecture and urban planning. So here you can see my interest is related to sustainability and sustainable solid waste management, sustainable urbanism and design concepts for cities, and sustainable transportation, how we can utilize renewable energy strategies in India, and art and culture, the canvas of a smart city. So I'm also interested into community participation and sustainable development. My PhD topic is also related to that. So main focus here, what we are talking about is where are the women. So I recently read an article where I found some information related to where women stands in the market and in the academic field. So 3 out of every 10 deans, like you can see this like many professors in United States. This is the statistics given by the college in USA, and which states that women stands 3 out of every 10 deans and 7 out of every 20 assistant or associate deans, 1 out of every 3 department heads, 6 out of every 19 directors and chairs. In SP also, like when you see the statistics of like who is heading the Department of Architecture, currently Ranjana ma'am, Professor Dr. Ranjana ma'am is heading the department, and Professor Neja Peko ma'am has also headed the department. I'm talking as a female faculty. So throughout the history of architecture and heading the Department of Architecture is very old department, old institution, very famous and prestigious institution, but still only 2 female faculties till now have had this, and this is a matter of concern. And earlier, like if we will see the statistics of the students enrollment of the female student, it was very less, but now it is almost 50-50. So that is not the concern, but still situation has improved. But from if you compare it, then situation was not very good earlier. So women in architecture is a national issue. There are opportunities as well as there are challenges. Potential as a woman versus architecture field. There's a potential in academics where women can contribute. In fact, women are contributing more than men. It may be 50-50, but I'm finding it is more. In field as an entrepreneur also, women can work. Women can work part-time working. Women can work from in the office and from home also. There are challenges like balance. So sometimes like we need to balance between personal and professional life. So whether you want to become a good parent, wife, architect, academician, entrepreneur. So it's up to you, but still you have to try. You have to balance between personal and professional life. Always try to do that, and social change is required for positive impact. Women architects must get social support for their 100% contribution in the field. There's a challenge because social support system is not there sometimes, and women drop the idea for be in the field. So to sustain in the field, I think support system should be there. And there are other concerns also where women try to work and will to lead, and equity in pay scale, inclusion in architecture work, research in architecture, community participation, and people's behavior impact the women working. And the government policies also, like I'm getting CCL, childcare leave, still I'm able to sustain my job. So this is a great initiative by the government institution where women faculty is able to sustain their life, professional life and personal life. So this is the good initiative, but in private sector, women are finding difficulty in sustaining their job. Change required as per transition in women ratio in the field, and reservation for girl child in the architecture admission in state government college when I was working in Haryana. So there was a reservation policy, like girl child will get some reservation to get the admission in the architecture.
Yeah, I think it's still there in most of the systems. Yeah.
It is not in Delhi. Can be, but it will required because female and male students are 50.
You've lost your voice, sorry.
I lost my voice. Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
So okay, besides the reservation, like we need to motivate the people for giving support system at home for feasibility of work for the women. So these are some points I have noted down, like how we can proceed with the discussion. Thank you.
Great. Actually, it's a very detailed, nicely made presentation, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I think the further questions that were to come to you personally, actually, as a teacher, you have kind of given a complete overview and answers to each one of them so meticulously. And I think that your research background made you do that. What I'm not going to do now is I had a lot of questions that I had formed to ask all of you. Rather, I'm going to quickly take up questions one by one directly to Sumit ma'am first, that has come from the students. What are the opportunities do you think that the women architects should aspire to venture into if they really want to get into administrative roles? And in the capacity of being a designer, how can they contribute administratively? Because you have done it yourself, could you shed some light on that? What all could be the aspirations? Sumit ma'am? You need to unmute, ma'am. You're, yes. Just on the screen, if you could unmute. No, you're not audible, ma'am. You need to unmute quickly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please go ahead.
Good. Yeah, that's a good question. And I would say that if one is really keen on an administration job, the government is a good opportunity. But one has to be on the lookout because it's not very often that you get these openings. For example, I was lucky, like I said, because it was after 16 years that the Punjab government was actually advertising. While it depends when people retire, only then an opening comes, unless they have some mass, recruitment drives and all. So if you're very keen, look around your area, your region, and, you have to take that step. Like I told you, I shifted from Delhi. I was in DDA, but then when I got this opening in Punjab, I was on the lookout to come closer home. So when I got that opportunity, even though I had to waste those 2 years in DDA, as far as my career count is gone, not as my experience, but from the career counting, year counting point of view, I lost my increments. But I took on the challenge. You have to see what your priorities are and then work accordingly. And I think I've been paid in good stead with all this. Otherwise also, but I would again like to say that getting into a government job is no guarantee that you are going to reach the top. There are a lot of things there. First of all, wherever you are, whether it's private, government, there's no escape to hard work. There's no escape to honesty and commitment and sincerity and passion, which all of us have to do. We have to balance our home front and the society. And even as a mother, we would love to, it's not because the society is demanding. It comes from within that we want to nurture our kids also. We want to nurture ourselves. We want to work for the society. So balancing that definitely is important. But one would also need to know that it will also depend once you get into the system, there is also a seniority list. There are rules and regulations. Like again said, when the vacancy arrives, so it's all there. So I think it's a big chance. God would be with you, I'm sure. I have a lot of faith in God. If one work with commitment, there is no escaping your rights and, your what you deserve. So work hard wherever you are, whether in the private or the thing, and this will definitely come to you. Secondly, I would say that if you even take on a private job, or you start your own office, and once you are, running your private office requires a lot of administration. It requires dealing with staff, it requires dealing with your work schedules, your time management, and it also requires looking at your finance. So what is all that? That is all administration, So as you scale up, you get all these responsibilities. You also learn how to do it, and you can definitely achieve your targets. And for a designer, as in the capacity of the designer, your question, for that I would say one should, actually search where one's interest really lies. Today, our profession is so broad-based. You can get into diverse fields and you can specialize. You can do conservation, you can do landscaping, you can specialize in housing, like Kamini ma'am was saying, she's done housing, or you can even go into commercial. We've got architects who've been specializing in hotels. So once you know where your passion is, you work with a good architect who is also working with these projects of your interest. That will help you hone up your skills, get to know the nuances, and that will take you a big leap forward. So I would suggest that definitely, don't waste time. Hunt for good architects, hunt for your own
Don't shy away,
interests, and
basically.
then
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be confident enough to go ahead and take the opportunity. That's true. Thank you, Sumit ma'am, for that insight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. My next direct question is to Kamini ma'am, and that comes largely to you because as a head of an institution, I'm sure you have seen a lot of transformation over the years in your students. How do you perceive this shift in male versus female students ratio in architecture? This has come from a student, and I've been told you have statistics related to this. So how has the performance been of women architects who have graduated over a period of time? Could you give us some insights on that?
Yeah, can you just screen share, Mahesh? I have shared one slide.
Yes.
Slide. I will quickly go through. Yeah, I will take a quick, response to that question. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, the slide is coming up. Just a moment.
Okay, right. Now, this has been observed from the last 22 years. The college was established in 1996. And you can see the slide, right? Yeah, you can see the slide and you can see right from 1996 to 2019. In 1996, the girls were just 1/3 the ratio of the boys. Then towards the millennium, you can see the shift. In 2002, they were almost equal in number. From 2003 onwards, the ratio of girls started increasing. And now in 2019, you have girls where they are more than 50% of the number of boys. Now look at the second diagram where we have taken a survey and we have done an analysis of what our women architects graduating from architecture have gone into various professions, right? So you see over here the ones who have gone into academic and research, that is around about 19%. Now here they are associated with colleges. Some of them are doing research in CBRI and various other research organizations. Now here, what I would say, women, the patience, the understanding of psychology, imbibing values in students is of paramount importance. And women are somehow more committed, and they have lesser distraction at workplace. They're more sensitive towards students' issues, and at the same time, you cannot take them for granted. On a lighter note, I can tell you, in our college, the women faculty are treated almost like villains. Students say that we are villains, because we are quite strict and we know where you have to be soft and where you need to be strict with the students. Then the next category, you see the government jobs, which is round about 4%, where our alumni, they have gone into GHMC, some have been working in the development authorities, even in HUDCO and so on. So here, there is absolutely no discrimination in terms of work, perks, salary, or whatsoever. Any kind of a duty that you are called for, it could be a late night meetings, it could be election duty, a COVID duty now, a demolition work, or a flood emergency preparedness, whatever, you have to be ready. At whatever post you are, and the more higher position that you go up, the responsibility becomes more big. And we have also observed that women are always better, in terms of corruption. Also, if you see, women are less corrupt. Now, somebody might argue that how can you say that statement? But yes, study has shown. Even if you see, there is a study done by the World Bank where they have analyzed that women have a higher level of ethical behavior and are more concerned with the common good. In fact, if you want to curb corruption, you should have more women in the government sector, is what I feel. And women are also better in managing finance. There has been some, instances of government projects which were taken up by HUDCO and so on, where you had to evaluate the housing schemes and do a lot of household surveys, where you have to work with limited budget over here in such cases. So managing finance, women are more wiser in terms of saving and spending. When it comes to the household service, also girls are preferred because sometimes you are not allowed to enter a house for doing a survey if there is no girl accompanying. So here we have seen how finance also women, manage better. Then coming to the next one, where you have the private jobs and where they are involved, also working in some multinational companies, that is around about 26%. Here, while working in multinational companies in international market, you are looked upon as a professional, and it depends on how you project yourself. So here the deliverables become more important, irrespective of whatever gender you are. The work has to be executed with utmost precision here. So initial stages, there might be, if you look back 15 to 20 years back, there was some difficulty, and especially on the site offices for female staff, there were no toilets provided. But and there was also some pre-assumptions that women architects are not technically sound in comparison to the engineers. And a lot of times the construction management specialization women would end up being HR managers. Sometimes communicating with the blue collared labor also becomes using the they use the abusive language and all, would become a little difficult traveling to remote sites where security is a concern. But then over a period of time, the laws have also become very stringent, and with this changing mindset of people, things have changed, and we can see that the woman today is highly respected in this profession as well. Then you have the next, you have the freelancing and self-employed, where there is you have 33 percentage in this. Now, initially over here, there was some reluctance, some of the alumni faced in terms of family support. If you have to travel outstation or you have to travel to far off places, so there they had initial problem, but then later on with family support, they could do it. And moreover, they have taken up this as a challenge and they went ahead. And sometimes you could have a for granted attitude by the electricians, the plumbers, you need to coordinate with all that. But the client's attitude today, if you look at the market, is very, very positive towards women. They believe women are more committed and they prefer women architects over male architects. A lot of clients is what we have seen. Then you have 10% going to the allied fields. Now over here, a lot of our some of our alumni, they have gone into graphic design, interior design. Some of them are doing really good product design. Some have even gone into architectural journalism. So they are all excelling in whatever professions they have gone. And there are around 5% who have shifted to other professions, IT related or something else. Some of them joined a family business or so. And this figure is very good, that you have only 3% of not working women. So in this entire, where you have majority girls coming in now and only 3%, I think it is a very good achievement for the institution also, that we are shaping up architects, future architects, where everybody is involved in some or the other, work. And
that's a really, really good low number to have. I think that's a very great sign. These statistics really make you make your belief stronger that the women are doing well in the field, and of course not just pure architecture or freelance, but they are into so many diverse fields, including the government jobs. And academics and research being 19% is a wonderful number as well. Because this morning, Yashwant sir and Satya sir were talking about having good teachers also in the field. And of course, I've come across a lot more female teachers than male teachers, and it makes a lot of difference. So these numbers are really, really important. Thank you for putting these up together, Kamini ma'am, because they convey a good story about the whole balance of the system right now, or the field right now. Can we move on to Pallavi ma'am's question, or do you have anything more to add on this?
Yeah, you can go to Pallavi ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, we could come back. Yeah. So Pallavi ma'am, there's a question because you've been active with Triple ID, and you mentioned it in your introduction a couple of times. There's a question that says you've been active in Triple ID and assumed office as well. Do you think that the women are doing better at interiors than architecture? What do you sense it overall that they are doing better with the interiors than architecture?
So to answer first part of your question, so that is regarding the IIID. It's an Institute of Indian Interior Designers. So I am being part of this since last 20 years and served as a managing committee also since last 8 years. So why IID? Because see, like only going behind the profession, paise kamao, It's not, giving you some kind of satisfaction. So you have to give back to your society also, and your fraternity also. So we are just taking out some quality time from our profession, and serving for the triple ID. So that is one kind of it has become one part of life
It's
also.
like contribution from your side, volunteering. Yeah.
Yes, volunteering. And there you meet your fellow architects, colleagues. It's not like a competition world over there. So you can learn a lot of things from your fellow designers. So it's a nice gathering to interact with them. So that is the first part. And answering to your second one, so yes, definitely I can say that women are good in the interiors, because basically women are creative in their nature. And you see, in interiors, you have to be very creative, and there is no limit of imagination. And it needs a lot of detailing, discussion with the clients, and starting from conceptualization till the end of the the project. Yeah, it needs a lot of interaction. And basically woman is multitasking, and can handle a lot of things at a time. So I think they are doing good in the interiors. But I can't say like no, compared to the architecture, because we see so many legendary architects. They are doing in the conservation, then restoration. There are the landscape designers, product designers. So it's up to the individual how they grow and how they grab the opportunity, how it comes to them. So it's an individual take. And if you
Individual
are
deck. Yes,
passionate
that's
about
true.
if you are passionate about your designing or whatever you want, definitely no one is going to stop you to go ahead.
Yeah, great. And I think over the last few years, I've seen both architecture and interior designers practicing. Females are doing well at both and at various award functions, be it Triple ID or be it the IA awards or the ASA awards. I've noticed that there's a lot of female winners who are doing equally well at both. This question naturally came from students is because there are these interior design students who feel that having the knowledge of architecture is more important than interior design, and then probably comes up from their understanding of it. But thank you for throwing light on this, that yes, there is a possibility of you need to decide what you want to work on, and you can contribute very well for all of those. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pallavi ma'am. There's a direct question to Aarti ma'am, and then there is an open question again for all four of you. You all may choose whoever wants to answer, but I'm asking Aarti ma'am her question, and having the research background, this has come from the students right now. We've been received almost 20 questions so far already from students. The student wants to know that what are just a second, I'll just quickly reiterate it or reframe it a little more. It says, do you think as a part of our education system, how can we get the women more involved to be more recognized and getting more jobs than the males? Could it be formed in the part of education? You need to unmute, Aarti ma'am. Yeah.
It's a nice question. Being an academician, assistant professor, actually we teach all the students equally, whether he's a male or female. Students can be both. But I think we have to upgrade the skills of students equally. It is the matter of skill upgradation, first of all. Now, because we are teaching in institution, we cannot be partial. Like students are asking, they can ask. But what we can provide, it's the matter of, I think, from my side, sense of place, sense of safety for the female faculty, female students, where students can feel confident about the atmosphere and they can devote extra time. And second is equality in the pay scale, where women can get equal pay. In private, we are facing this problem, private sector, but in government, we are getting equal pay. So students are asking, okay, how we can get and more salary and how we can upgrade we can upgrade, because they will get the same education in the institution. Afterwards,
Yeah.
they can upgrade themselves.
The also concern is how could it be made a part of education to get equal opportunities is what they are looking at.
Okay, for equal opportunities, they are getting equal opportunities, no doubt. But what they are not getting is the safe environment. Sometimes, because women get conscious about the safety issues. Being a female faculty, also I've seen and experienced these issues in the institution, where occupancy is the main thing, and second is the behavior also. Behavior, and it defines the atmosphere. All are educated, and I think all should behave normal to all the female faculty and female students. There should not be any harassment and teasing from the institution and from the student side also, and from the faculty side also. I think we must encourage the female faculty and female student in the institution, and to boost up their skills, because it provides mental peace. No one is looking after the behavior issue in the institution. They are just thinking about the technology wise also. Like we see the occupancy, if the occupancy is there in the institution, okay, we find the safety in the institution. Although we provide CCTV surveillance, and we provide a lot of safety measures nowadays. We have good infrastructure in the institution, but still there is something lacking.
Yes, I have received questions on that also. Safe environments, yeah.
Yeah, we are much more safe in the office hours only, 9 to 5. After that, we don't feel safe to work, and that confidence we need to build up in the community. So that can come. I think it comes from the infrastructure. It comes from the behavior also, and it comes with the occupancy. If the female faculty is there with the female students for extra working, they can work, and the parents will also support.
The right kind of environment is very, very important to be created for so that they feel safer to work, and also they should be given equal pay so that they realize that they are also equally important. Okay.
I want to share one news in Dubai on 25th of September. What they have implemented, they have, as per this law, women and men must have the same salaries if they hold the same position. So
Wonderful.
This is what I'm sharing from the news, and this is for the private sector. If the same kind of job women and men are working, they must get equal salaries, and it has been implemented. So this is good initiative by UAE.
Yeah, very good initiative, and I think it will take a little time, but sooner or later, all governments will have to realize this.
Yeah.
We have overrun the time, but I'm still going to go for a question that I need Kamini ma'am and Pallavi ma'am to just put light on, and then maybe I can sum up at the end of it. To Kamini ma'am and Pallavi ma'am, could you share some mantras with the current generation of female architects or designers that you think that they should realize that the world is out there? That's what Aarti ma'am was telling right now, that this feeling of belongingness to this field and this idea of having opportunities up for grab. What are your mantras that you wish to share with the current generation of architects, female students per se?
Yeah. So, can I?
Yeah, Pallavi ma'am, and then Kamini ma'am could end it up for us.
My mantra for the current generation is P3. So P for passion, P for patience, and P for perfection. Passion, yeah, you must have passionate about the field of architecture and design. Definitely, and if you have really passionate about architecture or design, no one can stop you by achieving the goals. Second is a patience. Yes, patience is the key of success. And architecture is a field where you have to be very, very patient. Okay, and the study actually it starts from the college itself, and because of that, it will help you to how to tackle with the clients patiently in the professional life. And third is a perfection. Yes, you have to be very much perfect about everything, like starting from the concept designing, then the presentations, then the studies, and coming to the professional life, the end product of your design. So you have to be perfect always. So if you follow these 3 mantras, definitely it will be a successful. And regarding this current generation, they are blessed with lot of Google, information. They are over flooded with the and very much accessible with the net and information. So they should take right advantage of the knowledge and go ahead with the whatever they want to achieve. Okay, so
that's wonderful. The mantras, the P3 mantras are interesting. And yes, there is a lot of information at hand. They need to be really smart and careful while using all of this information. Opportunities are to be explored. And I think that is where our students need to be trained. I think Kamini ma'am would add to it. Kamini ma'am, your take on it?
Yeah, we have the time.
Yeah, a couple of minutes or a little more is also fine. Yeah.
Okay. I would quickly just have 4 points to make. First is for all the women architects around out there, build up confidence and decision-making attitude so that you get the right perspective. If you are willing to walk that extra 1 mile and putting aside your comfort zones in terms of spending time with family and all that, you can rule the world. You can do anything. We have had I can quote a lot of instances. We don't have the time now, where women have headed big companies, multinational companies, and they are all placed internationally. Our own very alumni from SVCA, we have seen, someone heading the Dubai office, and they are doing remarkably good. So the first thing is build up confidence. Then second is, never make the things you want make you forget the things that you have. Now over here, we have heard a lot of times, people saying that if you want to make a career, you have to compromise on your, family. You should remain unmarried and all. No, a happy family will make a happy, individual, and your family will come as a big support if they see that extra spark in you. And if you are willing to go ahead, your family comes as a big support. Remember, so do not compromise on your happy family life. Have a very good family. No problem in that. Third, you should have the willingness to work. Don't work just to prove somebody. You have to work for yourself. You have acquired a degree. You want to go ahead, have that zeal to work, not just to prove somebody. Fourth and the last, have the right approach to work. Now, usually we see a lot of girl students coming up. They have big dreams. Oh, we will immediately sit in an air-conditioned office, sit on the top. I have acquired a specialized degree, and I can run an office. No, it comes with hard toil. You have to toil in the sun. You have to take up the responsibility. So power without responsibility, do not expect. So be prepared to take up the right approach to the job. Take up responsibility along with power. So these are the 4 points that I would like to make. I would like to end, if we have time, just one small, I'm reminded of what Margaret Thatcher had said, the UK Prime Minister. If you want something said, ask a man. And if you want something done, ask a woman. Don't have attitude, have standards is what I say. A strong woman knows that she has the strength for the journey, but a woman of strength knows that it is the journey where she will become strong. So have confidence in yourself, go ahead, and you can conquer the world, is what I have last message to say.
Amazing. I was going to quote somebody at the end to sum it up. So I think this is a perfect quote to end it, sum up what the message is. Thank you so much, Kamini ma'am. Just a couple of parting words from Sumit ma'am. Could you unmute and just to wind it up from your end, could you unmute and tell us? Yeah.
First of all, I think all these points are so very important, which Kamini ma'am, Pallavi ma'am, and Aarti ma'am have said. But I would also like to say, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. It's so important. I'll give you a small instance, 2 or 3 small instances just to stir up that thought. When I took over as chief architect, I was told that I'm doing a wrong thing because my predecessor, who was a woman architect, used to come out with tears in her eyes, after every meeting, because she was put under so much pressure, and they would, and she could not stand those questions. So believe in yourself. Believe in your professional commitments and sincerity, and I'm sure you can tide away these problems and you can tackle everything. I had an experience where we were the High Court wanted a boundary wall around the Capitol complex, which is today the UNESCO World Heritage status. And imagine the High Court, all the judiciary, saying that if anything goes wrong, you are to answer. But then I researched and we found so many examples internationally where they were doing things without boundary walls. Finally, whatever was existing also, the balustrades which they had put up were all removed, and the whole area is now one. So we could do without the boundary wall. Third instance was when in Chandigarh, they wanted skyscrapers, on the backdrop of the hills. It's a very famous, you can research it, the Tata Camelot project, where all the MLAs together, all the bigwigs, they had taken up some land and they were going to build. I got threat calls, but we tried to, and it was in the Punjab government. But then, we tried to reason out with the Punjab government that they couldn't build a housing project anywhere, spare this land. But still, they went on. Finally, we had to take the course the legal way. We had to go to the High Court. We lost it there. But then we went to the Supreme Court. And with all the conviction and all, finally, we did make it. So never lose your grounds. If you are, sure that this is right, work towards it. And I think today that we have the UNESCO Heritage Site status is because if we had allowed these two things, the wall around the Capitol, and if we had allowed those skyscrapers behind, we would have damaged the whole thing. So be committed, be sure, and believe in yourself.
Very important. Conviction is everything, as everyone says. Once you are convinced about your own thoughts, and once you are sure what you want to do, it's very important to stick to it. All in all, wonderful knowledge shared. There are questions by some speakers and experts also, but unfortunately, due to the shortage of time, we won't be able to take them up. Thank you all of you for enlightening us with such wise words. There is a video shared by another woman architect. Her thoughts about the topic. She was approached by the host team just to take a video bite about what she feels about this topic, and that is where I'm going to request the host team to play the video, and after the video is done, we'll have a formal thank you and end to this session. This is for the audience. The next session starts at 2:40 immediately, so you may grab your food plates and sit in front of these the YouTube and enjoy your meal as well as the interesting sessions that are coming up for you. May I request Ibrahim to play the video with the sound shared? Yes. The sound needs to be shared, Ibrahim. If you could reshare by ticking the box with the sound to be shared, yeah. No. Unable to hear that. Yeah, now we are able to, yes. Could you increase the volume? No. Not audible. You want to try sharing it, and while sharing, you could tick the box below of share computer sound. Sorry, Ibrahim, I'm not sure if everyone is able to hear this because I am absolutely not able to hear this. All right, I think we'll try and play this at the start of the next session with your kind permission. Yeah. All right, so thank you very much, all four panelists. I'm going to request all of you to switch on your videos. Yeah, good. So I will hand it over to the host to do a formal thank you from my side. It's been wonderful. I'm really glad I made the decision to remain as the moderator for this panel because it's a huge takeaway for me. And to get to know all four of you itself is a wonderful opportunity. And I think I have been fortunate to be here today. Thank you, Sketch. And this EduCon is really turning out to be very interesting. And as the sessions progress today and tomorrow, I'm sure a lot of queries, questions that are there in the minds of our students, audience will get answered. I think one point that Kamini ma'am made, that only 3% students are not doing anything or not working. There have been cases where students have dropped out of the program or the architecture course. And we are doing a wonderful panel discussion tomorrow again on that topic. Should you drop out of architecture? I'm sure some of the thoughts that were shared today will be echoed tomorrow in that panel discussion as well. So that's it from my side. Aziza, you have anything to add?
Yes, sir. I would like to thank all the panelists and our moderator to enlighten us on this topic. And thank you all so much for answering the questions that students have asked. And please don't forget to share your feedback. And we'll be
I'll just quickly mention here that to the panelists, we have received several questions. They have been coming in, there are 24 here now. We will share these questions to all of you on email, and we will request you to be a little kind enough to spare more time and share your answers on the email itself, so that we can host these question answers on our website of ASketch and also maybe on our social media pages, where the students don't get disheartened because their question wasn't taken up. Of course, they do understand that we were short of time and there was so much to talk about. It's a topic that can go on for a full day. But thank you everyone for being so patient and such a lovely audience. And thank you all the panelists for gracing our EduCon today. And we look forward to your participation in all our future endeavors. Thank you very much. We will leave the meeting. All of us end it